أتكلم عن تجربتي الخاصة جدا مع MIT، وكيف إن إحنا نقدر إن إحنا نستخدم التقنية الجديدة أو أحدث التقنية في مجال الارتفيشال انتليجنس أو اللي هي الذكاء الاصطناعي في تطوير نظام الصحة عندنا، بحيث إن إحنا نبني مجتمع يكون صحي وقادر على إنه يلبي احتياجات الطب.
أول ما طلعت فوق المنصة كنت شوي حسيت في خوف، لكن تفاعل الجمهور خلاني أحس إني أنا من بين أصحاب.
And continue enhancing this beautiful world you are already building. Let us follow up and continue building this creative economy and doing things that have never been done on this planet. From Riyadh to Jeddah, and yes, to Neom.
أشارك تجربتي مع العالم وأشارك تجربتي مع المجتمع السعودي بأن إحنا قادرين في شتى المجالات أننا ننافس ونبرز طاقاتنا وجهودنا.
When I look at Saudi Arabia, I see potential. Potential for a country with over half its population under the age of 25. Potential for the youth who are looking to grow, learn, and change the world.
A result of a passion of one man, Mohammed bin Salman. His passion has transformed Saudi Arabia. A man of my age, I never thought it would happen in my lifetime. He's a passionate man. And if that man can change a country, imagine what your own passion can make for you. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, innovators, disruptors, creators, and the leaders of our future, welcome to MiskTalk. We're so excited to have you with us today. All of you are going to determine the direction of this rapidly changing world and the way that we're heading. It's your ideas, your achievements, your creativity, and of course, your dreams that will shape the future for a better tomorrow for all of us. MISK is a philanthropic foundation set up by His Royal Highness Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. It really seeks very strongly to develop young Saudis and to provide them with the opportunities to thrive in an ever-changing world. MISK promotes the disciplines of education, of tech, of science, of arts, of culture, of creative digital media. And it provides an avenue for all of you to plug into the global grid. For instance, just take a look for a moment where we are here today. We are in Los Angeles, the home of Hollywood and the galaxy of stars who have touched the hearts of millions simply through the silver screen. This is the land where creativity, imagination, talent, and tenacity make dreams come true. And of course, it's also a land where contribution to America's power is measured not just in dollars and cents, but also in ideological terms. In short, La La Land stands supreme as an epitome of the notion of soft power in an era where technology is completely erasing borders, reshaping cultures, and reframing the entire global narrative. So in keeping with this context, I'd like all of us here in the room to consider today that this is the MISK Oscars. And this is where we have the best performances from all the categories of life, from all sectors and from all of the most creative minds. Every single one of our speakers is a star, and some are even superstars. So today we're going to hear and share stories of the young people of Saudi Arabia and the United States. These youths and future leaders are positive, they're optimistic, and they are really committed to shaping a brighter future for a troubled world. They are the ones who are building bridges across civilizations. They are the ones enhancing and enriching cultural understanding. They are the ones who are committed to the healing of the scars of the past, and they are seeking to strengthen their ties of their future. It's their dreams, their efforts, their energy, and their aspirations that are so critical in shaping a better tomorrow for a polarized world. So I'd like you to lend them your ears this evening as they share their unique insights and experiences. Before I introduce our very first speaker, I'd like to share a little bit more about MISK. Please watch.
هم الطاقة الحقيقية والقوة الحقيقية لتحقيق هذه الرؤية، وهي أهم ميزة بالنسبة لدى السعودية هي الطاقة الشبابية اللي فيها، والميزة الجيدة أنهم شباب واعي قوي لديه طموح رائع مثقف متعلم بشكل جيد مبدع لديه قيم عالية. باقي فقط نضع الرؤية ونعمل عليها.
Empowering young people leads to a stronger future. But how do we support young people so that they thrive in this rapidly changing world? How do we equip them with the knowledge and skills they need to create a modern, sustainable economy? Our foundation, MISK, was established by His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz in 2011 to discover, develop, and empower young people to overcome the challenges of today and contribute to the advancement of tomorrow. We focus on 4 areas. In education, we help young people move from learning to earning. In technology and science, we establish tech accelerators and incubators. In arts and culture, we showcase and promote the work of talented artists. In media, we support the creation of innovative content and inspire our audiences. We know that these opportunities have no boundaries and cannot be achieved alone. So, we collaborate with the world's leading organizations, universities, corporations, NGOs, and governments to provide new horizons for young people to thrive. In our first 6 years, through 100 events, programs, and initiatives, we have served over 1 million young people from more than 65 countries. This is just the start. We want you to join us on our journey as we work to invest in our greatest and most valuable asset, our young people.
I'd like to know how many people here in this room have played Monopoly. Can I have a show of hands? So quite a number of you. How many of you have played, but you're not sure if you've played Monopoly? You have, okay. How many of you have played Monopoly for Saudi Arabia? Oh, wow. Okay, fantastic. The youngest member in the room, actually. In that game, you cannot pass go unless you've contributed to Vision 2030. Otherwise, you can't collect 200. How many of you have played Cards Against Humanity? So, again, quite a few of us here in this room. How many of you have played the winking card game? Very few, if hardly any. Well, I want to introduce our next speaker because she is all about gaming. In fact, she is one of the first Saudi women to get into designing games. And she's pretty incredible and so talented. I'm going to introduce her first. I'm going to show you a video. Her name is Nouf Bagazi. She's a game designer. This is My Caravan Ride.
Assalamu alaikum. Before I begin my speech, I would like to start off by saying it has been one of my dreams to stand up on a stage and inspire the people. Today, my dreams has come true. My name is Nouf Bagazi. I am only one of the only Saudi Arabian women to graduate a game designer from the top of universities, New York Film Academy. No. Before coming into this major, I had no idea the opportunities that would come with game design. Originally, I was planning on getting into animation. However, game designer has opened up my eyes to a lot of different things that I never know about before. I had difficulties within my studies because of the language barrier, cultural differences, and a new adapting and a new educational system. But with motivation and strength, I overcome all of that. I recall on the first day of class, the professor asked me, Nouf, what was the last game you played? I couldn't come up with an answer because the truth is I never played game before. My response to him, I enjoy to making 3D characters. I thought I joined the programming for wrong reason, but my professor pointed out I was in the right place. While studying all different types of games, whether it's board games, card games, or digital games, I noticed that there were no Arabic games. And in that moment, the little light bulb in my head turned on, and I started thinking about bringing my Saudi Arabian culture into the world of the game. When I put it two things that I am most passionate about, game design and my culture, it can be naturally. It made sense. I have a goal now. I started with a game similar to Monopoly. At first, it was just a thought, but I designed and printed into one day. The next day, I showed the board games to my professor and a classmate. They reacted beautifully. Creating Monopoly for Riyadh and adding the touch of Saudi Arabian culture to it has opened up a board game of a question from the professor and a classmate, which allowed to me teach them a little more about my culture. It was different in a rewarding way to talk about my culture to those who were unaware of it. This has led me to be more excited about game designer. During my second semester, we were introduced to board games, card games, and party games. Every week, we were assigned to come up with a new idea for a game. During this time, I implemented two old games that have been played in Saudi Arabia, like wing card games. بالعربي لعبة الغمزة زمان، إذا تتذكروها. I began to research and found a story that can be a new game. And it came from Quran. The game I created was called Caravan Ride. This game is based on a story that happened before Islam, رحلة الشتاء والصيف. When covenant riding on a journey through winter and summer. The theme for this game is historical and traditional and goes back into the history of the Islamic religion. I had the pleasure to review these games with my professor and my classmate and the head of department. The feedback that I had received had led me to realize the responsibility that's on me and how powerful and effective it can be. Now, I can show my culture, that real side of it, through game design, and I can create a better understanding about the beauty of Saudi Arabia. Last but not least, okay. Game that I created was one of my favorites. This game is an educational game about Saudi Arabia. It's a simple game called Safir, Travel to Saudi Arabia. Together, my team and I choose 5 different cities in Saudi Arabia and talking about the most popular landmarks, food and clothes, and how the development in Saudi Arabia is today. This game stood out the most to the professor and classmate because it had all the educational elements about our country. Not only did designing games through my culture and showing my passion help to me, graduated from New York Film Academy, but also the fact that I had the chance to enlighten my peers with culture facts that they did not know before. The experience that I had as students at New York Film Academy is indescribable, and I cannot express my pride after completing my study. I love my major. I love my major just as much as I love my country and my culture, and without the two, I would not have been able to successfully succeed as one of the only female game designer in Saudi Arabia. Thank you.
Thank you so much for bringing your creativity and in a way that allows us to interact in a new way with the culture and the history and the present day of Saudi Arabia. I have one request from the Misk Arts Institute, who would really love for you guys to come to their event tomorrow evening. It's an exhibition at 7 p.m. It's called KSALAX. It's an immersive exhibition of large-scale paintings, live performances, as well as animation projects. And there's a bunch of live performances by both U.S. and Saudi artists. So that's at 820 Santa Fe Avenue, downtown LA in the Arts District from 7 p.m. tomorrow. So I'd like to wrap this up just by reminding us all that it was Steve Jobs that once said that the most important person in the world is the storyteller. And that's what we've heard today. We've heard stories about resilience and vision, the power of belief and desire, the desire and passion for achievement, unrelenting quests for knowledge and the spirit of adventure. And that is what Misk is all about. It's about showcasing powerful stories that leave all of us here in this room a little smarter, more excited, and really appreciative of great ideas and the grit that it takes to make them happen. Thank you and good evening. I'll leave you with some highlights of the Misk Festival in Saudi Arabia.